Willkommen! My name is Sean Huggins. I'm an American living in Germany, and on this channel, I'm looking to learn all about life in Germany and Europe in general through watching silly videos and stuff on the internet with you guys. So if you enjoy, consider subscribing. We got new videos every single day, and today's comment of the day comes from MEXI, and they say, as a Bavarian, I can confirm that we are, in fact, better than everyone else. Well, that settles it. Bavarians are the best people in the entire world. You heard it here first. So the debate is over. That's it. They're the best. Anyways, thank you so much for the comment. Much appreciated. Welcome to the channel. And let's get into today's reaction. So since Bavarians are the best, I figured let's check out the complete other side of Germany and see what's going on there. Probably nothing important since Bavarians are the best. So in today's video, we're checking out the German Baltic Sea. I don't really know anything about northern Germany, so we're gonna learn some stuff together, I guess. This video is from Jesse Lena, so shout out Jesse Lena. So yeah, let's learn about the Baltic Sea and what there is to do there. Los geht's!
Today we're going to be talking about trips that you can make from Berlin to the Ostsee, which is also the Baltic Sea. Outside of Germany, a lot of the stereotypes revolve around the Alps and the mountains.
I love the Alps though. Maybe my favorite trip I've ever done in my entire life was going to the German Alps. I have a vlog about it on my vlog channel. You can check that out. Link in the description. Incredible. But that's not all of Germany, so let's explore some other stuff.
Germany has more than just mountains. Germany has a lot of really beautiful coastal line, a lot of beaches and coastal areas. And they may not be as warm or sunny as places in the Mediterranean part of Europe, but I think there's something really special and unique about these cities and places. I visited quite a few places along the Baltic Sea, as it's not too far from Berlin and it makes a perfect weekend getaway or day trip depending on where you're going.
That's cool.
Today I'm going to be talking about my favorite places that I've been to along the coast, what made them fun, and what you can do there. In the Baltic Sea region, there are a lot of charming towns and cities to visit. So one thing that I want to mention that
if you guys have any suggestions for places to visit in northern Germany, cities or even just little towns or little places, leave them in the comments. I would like to go and explore northern Germany at some point, but I need to know where to go, obviously, so
you'll see in all of these different places that I'm going to mention in the video is just the architecture. So there's a lot of brick architecture. It's not something that you see in other parts of Germany. So I think that's what makes it really unique and really fun to explore. And I think these cities are really beautiful. I think sometimes almost reminiscent of Amsterdam, like what you think of when you think of Amsterdam. First up is Rostock.
I can see it in my mind now.
Rostock is a city that is located along the coast, and it also has another little beach town that's kind of part of Rostock, but also separate, called Warnemünde. Both places are really fun to explore and see, and you can combine both into one day. Warnemünde, which is more of the beach location, and it's a fun little town to walk around, grab a bite to eat, explore the coast, check out the beach. And then Rostock is also a really nice place to explore and see the old town.
They have grass there, that's nice.
Rostock with an S-Bahn. But what's also really fun is you can travel via boat, so you can get on in the harbor in Rostock and go all along to the harbor, along the waterway, and then you arrive in Warnemünde. And I think this is also a really fun way to explore the area, you know, see something different that you wouldn't normally see and still get to the destination of Warnemünde. In Rostock, there's a lot of cafes and restaurants, so you can explore the Altstadt. It's really fun just to walk around and see all of the buildings. Rostock is really pretty easy to get to from Berlin. You can just take a direct train and you get there in just about 3 hours. So it makes a really nice day trip. Next, I'm going to talk about Stralsund. Stralsund is another city, but is also the gateway to Rügen Island, which I'll be talking about in a moment. Like all of the other cities, Stralsund has a really beautiful Altstadt. It is really fun to just walk around and look at the churches and the buildings, explore the different streets, check out the restaurants and the different shops. One thing to note is that the restaurants there close really early. Living in Berlin, we get really spoiled with how late everything stays open.
I'm kind of used to that in my area. I'm in the deep south of Germany, Baden-Württemberg, the Schwäbisch region of Germany, and it's just all small towns around me, so I'm used to that.
And sometimes I forget that in the rest of Germany, the hours are not the same and things close really early. You have to be aware of this. In Stralsund, things were closing especially early. Some of the restaurants were closing at 8 p.m. There are some that stay open a little bit later than
8
this.
8 p.m. is early to close? Dude, I'm in bed by 8 p.m.
There's not going to be any sort of late night dining and restaurant options. The weekend that I went was a holiday weekend, so there was a lot of tourists there. And this meant that the restaurants and the Altstadt was completely packed. If you didn't have a reservation for a restaurant, it was impossible. The first night that we arrived, we didn't realize you had to make a reservation. I think around 6 or 7 p.m., we just said, hey, we're gonna walk around, find a nice restaurant and start eating. And we walked for so long and stopped in at so many restaurants and everything was just full, completely booked out. We learned our lesson, made sure to make reservations for the next night so we could be sure to have dinner. One of the really interesting things to do in Stralsund is to visit the aquarium or the Oceanum. This was super fascinating. There's so many different tanks with different kinds of fish. I especially liked being able to see what the Baltic Sea was like and what the different fish are that are living there.
Dude, okay, that's really cool. They have the fish from the sea that's right next door to you. Oh, that's very cool. I really like aquariums.
It was something that I didn't know beforehand, and I think it's just interesting to learn a little bit more about the area that you're visiting. And yeah, it was really interesting to see all these different fish and explore something new and do something a little bit different that you don't get the chance to do in some of the other cities. So I would highly recommend going to the aquarium. It was definitely worth the visit. As I mentioned earlier, Stralsund is kind of the gateway to Rügen Island. So Stralsund is still located on the mainland. The bridge there connecting from Stralsund to Rügen Island. Really easy and accessible to get to Rügen if you could by car or if you go by train like we did. You just hop on in Stralsund and take a train to your destination. There are a lot of different cities that you can visit on Rügen, such as Binz, which is a coastal beach-going town. However, we didn't go there. When we went, we really wanted to visit the Jasmund National Park. This is a park that is famous for its white chalk cliffs, something that has been on my Germany bucket list for years now, and I was really excited to finally go. It was absolutely amazing. You can hike along the top of the cliffs and you're in a really beautiful old growth forest just looking out over the sea below. You can also walk along the bottom of the cliffs as well. It's like a rocky little seashore. It was really fun to explore the area both from the bottom along the coast and up high on top of the cliffs. I would definitely recommend going. Finally, the last place I'm going to be talking about, and this is probably my favorite place, is Lübeck. Lübeck is actually the...
Look at this building. Is that like an old guard tower or something? That is very cool looking.
The first town that I went to along the entire Baltic coast area. It just holds a very special place in my heart. Lübeck is located more to the west than all of the other cities that I've mentioned so far. And like the others, it has a really beautiful Altstadt area. It has Gothic brick architecture like the other ones, and I just think it is so beautiful. What's really famous is the Holsten Gate there. You've probably seen images of it. It's really cool to see something that you've seen in pictures in person, you know, like wow, it's actually real. It's really fun to see that. And we also went up a church tower to get an overview of the entire city. That was really cool to get a bird's eye view of where we were. From Lübeck, there's also a beachy coastal city called Warnemünde, kind of like Warnemünde in Rostock.
Dude, look at all these little tent things. Look at those. Those are so cool. Wow, so many of them.
Warnemünde in Lübeck. We also spent a day in Warnemünde, just mostly going to the beach and hanging out and having a good time in the sun and enjoying the beach atmosphere during the summer. And Lübeck is also really famous for marzipan. Personally, I'm not a fan of marzipan, but you can go to the store there and get yourself some marzipan or walk around the entire old Stadt. There's a lot of really fun shops to explore. I feel like Lübeck was the most beautiful of all of the cities I've mentioned. It was really quaint and really fun to walk around. And there was also a lot of really nice restaurants and cafes, which were surprisingly very vegan friendly. I'm not vegan myself, but I do like to eat plant-based a lot, and that was...
I'm not vegan myself either, but I like when places have vegan restaurants and vegan shops and stuff, because then it means that the places that I go to are less crowded.
It's just really something nice to see. Another thing that we did in Lübeck was visit this history museum, and that was so cool. It was all about the Hanseatic trading empire. Kind of took you through like how that got set up and what it was like and all of the different trading ports and what things were like back then.
I like trading.
And it was extremely interesting and just such a well thought out museum that it was just really fascinating to walk through. So I would highly recommend checking out that museum as well. Worth a visit. Overall, the Baltic Sea region, the Ostsee coast has a lot to offer. Highly recommend going to. In general, the Baltic Sea region has a lot of just charming towns, and you can explore nature and just relax and kind of escape the city life a little bit, which is really nice to do. There's a lot of rich history and culture, and there's something for everybody.
Ciao, Jesse. Thank you for the video. That was very informative. I feel like I have some ideas for places to visit now in northern Germany. But of course, I always leave it up to you guys, the experts. Let me know any other northern Germany places that I should check out. Maybe I'll go to them. Hamburg is at the top of my list without a doubt, but I'm still interested in more small towns, smaller cities, like places like she was mentioning, because those places are awesome too. So yeah, like I said, I leave it up to you guys, the experts. Let me know in the comments any other cool places that I can check out. But that's all the time that I have for today. If you enjoyed, consider subscribing. We got new videos every single day. Check the links in the description for all of my other social media, including my vlog channel. Thank you guys so much for being here, and as always, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.